So I'm here with our July Artist of the Month, Priscilla. And Priscilla, out of fear of butchering your name, I don't want to get it wrong, can you please just let me know the full way to pronounce your name?
So my name is Priscilla Mutangadura. And Upenyu means life in my native language, which is Shona. I'm from Zimbabwe.
I love that so much.
Southern Africa.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country. So, could you just give us a kind of quick overview of the artwork that you're displaying here at CSLDallas?
Okay. First of all, I want to express my gratitude to CSLDallas because this is a beautiful opportunity. This is my first time, guys. Like, it's my first time to be a part of an exhibition, so I'm a virgin to all this, if I may say.
Yeah.
And I feel honored. I feel so great. I'm so grateful when people come and see this art and the way they express themselves, the way they talk about this artwork. Sometimes I see it in a different way from just the way people express themselves and what they are receiving from it. It's very beautiful. It's like the story continues of the creativity. And so I work with wood. I do wood burning. That's the medium that I work with. And it's on different pieces of wood. Basswood, cedar. So I make clogs, and this time around, I brought so much different pieces that are on cedar. And I also do portraits of people, just like this one right here. It's a portrait of my nephew, called Azaria, and a little bit of paint. On that one, I kind of experimented on paint. And then Africa with different patterns on it, have different maps of Africa, and many patterns that I love to play around with because it's beautiful, especially coming from Zimbabwe. It's so much patterns and so much color that comes from, different tribes and different backgrounds. So yeah, I love working with patterns and flowers and things in nature. So this is the kind of artwork that I brought here this time around, because I believe there are many, many times that I'm gonna be invited to share and express myself this way in many ways. So yeah, this is pretty much what I have.
When did you start doing this sort of work?
So I started in 2020. So right at the beginning.
You had never done wood burning before 2020?
No.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Wow. What prompted you getting into this?
So, just art in general. My sister, her name is Chieza, and my brother Blessing, they used to draw pencil art when we were back home in Africa. And I was young. I don't remember how old I was, but I would sit at the table and just watch. I was so inspired by the way they could draw a human being and different stuff. So my brother then passed away in 2014. By that time, I had kind of already drifted away from art, honestly. And school, life happened, working and all that, I totally forgot that I enjoyed art at some point. And then I embarked in a spiritual journey, which helped me rediscover myself. It reminded me of things that I had forgotten about myself. So parts of me that I'd lost pretty much. And so in 2020, that's when I'd say it came as a clear message, like a dream, I'd say, that I'm an artist, and it was like clear, crystal clear, with firmness. Yeah, it was very firm and clear that I'm an artist, and I really didn't question it. The next morning, I was sitting on the bed with my sister again, Chiedza, and a different brother, which is not a common thing. Like, we don't just chill in bed and yeah, I don't know. It was perfect, I would say, because there's no mistakes.
Right.
And I got a pencil, because I remembered this, and I got a pencil and a paper, sat at the bed, started with the eyes. And Azaria, which is my nephew, which is Chiedza's son, that's the first picture that I drew. It was on like a pencil and paper. That was before wood burning. Then I remember the moment, just the feeling of how I felt in my heart. Like felt like doors being opened. And I could not believe myself. I could not believe my hands. I could not believe my eyes, the way my heart was racing. It was like, I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? I could not believe I was doing that. And then I started, like I finished it, and my siblings were right there. They were watching it, like pretty much the whole step. Like, oh my goodness, is that an eye? Or like they were also like in disbelief, pretty much, until I finished it all. And then that was it. One time, I started doing the pencil drawing, and then I was walking in Target because I wanted to experiment on things like, okay, maybe a little bit of paint, or maybe a little bit of this. Let me see what I can play around with. You know, it's like that child having so many toys, wanting to play. Yeah. And then that's when I came across the wood burning tool. It's like, what is that? I took it. Was very inexpensive, like $12. So it didn't hurt. Took it home with me, took a wooden spoon in the kitchen, and I started burning it. I burnt light, peace, and love. The smell really, really, oh my goodness. It brought so many memories of my childhood when my mom would cook in a hut, meals, dinners, just like there's like part of my artwork here. I have pictures of different huts and children playing. So it brought so much great memory, even the taste of the food and just the emotion and all that, because my mother is no longer alive in this moment. So that moment, it was like a life-changing point for me, because even looking at the way it was coming out, it was just so beautiful. It was so beautiful and amazing. And it wasn't, from there, I didn't stop. Just kept experimenting with different pieces of wood, different, like the tools themselves, just seeing what works better with this kind of wood. Yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, and I've been enjoying it all. Yeah.
I mean, they're beautiful pieces. Do you sort of, I guess, I like to talk about the creative process, and it's sort of like, is it something that you just sort of wait for? Like, you just sort of see an image in your mind, like you're like, oh, this is what I need to carve. How does it come about?
That's a good question. So one of the lessons I'll say is this art has kind of taught me to, I'm still learning, not perfect yet, but to not kind of refrain from wanting to control things.
Oh yeah.
Because
yeah. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Sometimes I have this idea. I'm like, okay, I want this to come out this way, but it does not always come out that way.
Yeah.
It does not always come out that way. So sometimes I have ideas, and I'm now learning to look at it and see that, okay, is it just something that I'm wanting to do coming from a place of, oh yeah, because I can do it? Or like, just pretty much humble myself and say, okay, if it happens, let
Yeah.
it be. Yeah, so it comes from different ideas, like, because I see many things that inspire me in nature, so many things that
Sure.
come from nature that I love to work with. And sometimes I take pictures of things and then I try to present it and like draw it first with the pencil and then would burn it. But it, like I said, it just always depends on the feeling of what's going on in that present moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, it's so much of it saying yes to whatever,
Yeah.
wherever it comes from. And it's such a, I mean, it's something that feels like we can't really put into words anyway, right? You just have to, it just comes to you, right? You call it the muse, you call it spirit, you call it all kinds of things, right?
Totally.
And so I mean, I really feel like you've already alluded to so much of this, but here at CSLDallas, we're always talking about creativity as an expression of spirit, an expression of our spiritual practice. And so I'm just sort of curious, like how does your spirituality and your creative practice interact with each other?
So, my spirituality and my creative process, how it comes together. I'll tell a little story. There was one piece that I was commissioned to do. This one of my friends, he became a friend. Like he had this deep connection with the bird, the phoenix. I think it's called phoenix.
Sure.
Yeah, beautiful bird. And I've heard many like spiritual stories about this bird, but nothing that I would say that I connected to in a way. Like I just knew that, oh, okay, people say that, oh, it's a very like beautiful, magical bird. And I felt so honored to do this for this person. And I said, yeah, I can do it. Bring it on. So, because pretty much all my artwork, if like most of it, it's like a first time shot, kind of like, okay, I got this, I'm doing it, and then boom, it comes out. Just like you were shocked that I started in 2020. Like if I show you the ones that I started in 2020, like, okay, wait, what?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's like I'm grateful for it all. But back to the story, this person, right, he sent me a picture on the phone, and he had drawn this phoenix. He drew it himself, and I was like, okay, I didn't like consider printing it like in the large thing, because I was like, I can draw it, I could just like wang it and just start burning it. And then it took me hours. When I say hours, I mean hours of trying to take this small picture and drawing a big piece, like on a big piece of wood. Yeah, it took hours until in that moment I was like, okay, this art creativity is bigger than me. Like it is greater than me. I gave it so much respect in that moment, and I was like, okay, fine, what to do? I stopped right there. I started praying, and I asked, like in my prayer, I asked even the spirit of the phoenix itself that please unlock this channel for me, because I want to be able to draw you and put you here and then like fulfill this project.
Yeah.
From that moment, it worked. Like it was like something like let loose, and it worked out perfectly. He loved it, and yeah, it
Wow.
went out great. So back to spirituality, I feel that like every day, I try by all means to really connect with the Creator, with the force of light, and be grateful for this gift of art, because I am definitely no size to it. It comes, and it comes when it wants to. At least for me,
Mhm.
it's something that I feel like I can never take for granted anymore.
No.
From the lessons that I've learned. So coming from a place of being grateful for even the moment when it comes, when it shows itself, just like it showed itself in the first moment that I realized that I'm an artist. It's easy, it could just go away, just like that. So I see it as something greater than me, and it humbles me. It teaches me patience. It teaches me to trust, because even when I'm in the moment of creation, in that moment when I'm creating something, just like I said before, sometimes what I'm hoping to happen is not what comes out. And sometimes it's even way better than how I intended it to come out.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I see things after I'm done, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize there was a bird that came out of this pattern. Or, oh my goodness, look at that, a baby could actually sit in here perfectly. I have a piece of wood that is this one here.
Yes.
It came with a hole, like the natural wood itself.
Right.
Has a little hole there, and at first I was like, man, why is it not perfect? Until when I was sitting there with it, I received that insight that, oh, this could be like an exit to a womb, like a baby sitting in the womb, and then exiting through that. So it was from that part or imperfection of the wood that brought me this creativity. So sometimes I don't know, but it's just a matter of trusting spirit, trusting my higher self, and just, being grateful. So it definitely is a connection. For me, it is all spirit. It is all spirituality.
It's so inspiring. It really is. It makes you think of a quote. I don't know if it's attributed to anyone, but you just hear people say things like, "The perfect is the enemy of the good," right? And it can be interesting. You can wait around for the perfect piece of wood. Whenever you're just the right amount of rested, you have the right amount of free time, right? And it's like, rarely does it ever work out that way. And it really is so much more about like showing up and saying yes to it.
Yeah.
And until you do that, until you show up and say yes to what's happening, and you start putting down marks and you say, yes, this is the mark, right? Especially with wood burning, right? You can't unburn it.
Yeah.
There's no undo
It's done.
on that button. It doesn't exist, right? That's permanent.
Oh my goodness, talking about that. Oh my goodness, like the wood burning part of it, like even the fact that it's like working with fire. I was talking to one of the people here that came to see the pieces of art, and they say, do you wear safety goggles? It's like, no, I don't. Well, at least not yet. But there's like fire, sometimes like I see like actual fire, or the sparks of fire, like, and I have to like kind of touch.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot of work, and like you say, when it's there, and it's done. It's working with the element of fire, the element of air, the element of earth. And I drink water whilst I do it.
There you go.
It's
all there.
Put the water in there.
It's all present.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Well, Priscilla, I mean, your work, it really is just beautiful, absolutely just breathtaking, especially whenever you get really close to it and really can just see all these really fine details, the different shadings. It's just, and like the line work, it's really remarkable. And so how can people stay connected with your work? How can we keep tabs on what you're doing?
So I have a website.
Okay.
And it is Art Elements, so ARTELEMENTS 38
38.
.com, yeah.
Why 38?
I am a numerologist as well, so
Okay.
when a person goes on my site, they can see the other things that I do, because I'm a numerologist, I'm a Reiki practitioner. That's like, it's all part of that
Right.
beautiful musical journey of my life that led me here. And yeah, so 38, my life path, if you're into numerology, my life path is number 3, and it's all about creativity, pretty much, if you know numerology, or yeah. And my date of birth is 8. So these are very important numbers to me, and yeah.
I love that. Website, anything else?
Website,
Social
and
media?
my Instagram, I have Instagram as well, it's Art Elements 38.
Great.
And my Facebook as well. And also my my website has my social medias linked to it.
Great. And you are commissioning, you are taking commissions.
Yes, I'm taking commissions for pretty much anything. When a person wants something that they, just like the story that I spoke about, the phoenix, I'll just, just pray. If it's challenging, I'll pray, I'll say, please. And I know it has happened before, so it can always happen. I trust that it can always happen. If a person has like things that they want me to do, or make it permanent on wood, they can just reach out to me, and then we can talk about it, the prices and the size, because it all depends on the project. It depends on the wood type and the size and all that, so we can always negotiate on that. And also portraits of people's faces, as long as the resolution is good for the picture, like the quality of the picture is good, then yeah, we can make it happen. They just talk about the size as well. We can make it happen.
Sure.
Yes.
I love that. So, if you haven't seen it yet, all right, Priscilla's here all month, and she will be here every Sunday, right? And you should, if you haven't seen this already, you should clearly pick her brain about all of this stuff. Such an inspiring conversation. There's so many just nuggets of things for me to think on from this. So, Priscilla, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much.